Hello, our dear viewer. My name is Eliot Jambo, and welcome to our weekly show, Campus Affairs, where we bring you the news around campus, around Nkumba University, and all the things you need to know. Today in studio, I'm with my colleague, Nanta Rebecca, and I'm giving her this chance to introduce herself so that we can start this show. Nanta, please introduce yourself.
Dear viewer, welcome to our show, Campus Affairs. As usual, we are going to bring you whatever is happening around Nkumba University. And a lot has been actually happening, of which you're going to find out today.
Yeah, our discussion today will center on the elections that were conducted this Saturday, where Ignatius Kangave Musazi emerged as the new Guild President Nkumba University. So we're going to be talking about the whole electoral process and how everything was moving and what we saw about that day. Well, the campaign started around a month ago, and all this period has been a busy moment where we've seen 4 candidates in Ruhinda Wilberforce of NRM, Musazi Nicholas of NUP, Kangave Ignatius Musazi who was independent, and then Kevin Frida, the only lady in this race, also who was independent. So today we want to talk about the highlights of this race. And my first question to you, Becky, how did you see this? How did you see this whole electoral process? Was it fair? What big highlight, what big thing can you note about the whole process?
So there was a lot happening, and obviously I saw a lot, I noticed a lot, but of course there are those big issues. So first of all, the Electoral Commission processing, I didn't, it was it was so I can say disorganized. Fact, they were disorganized. Imagine, okay, announcements were usually made later. In the morning, you get a document that campaigns will be happening today. Like, who does that? I thought students are supposed to receive all that, 3 days, 3 days before the main event. But actually what they did was not so good because it inconvenienced the guild aspirants. Pressure, a lot of pressure. People had pressure.
Actually, there was something I saw. There was a document that was speaking about that day when they were conducting the debate, and the document had the date of the debate, 12th, which that's the day it was released. It was released around 9th, but the document had the date 12th, yet it was not yet 12th. And do you think the Electoral Commission lacked proper conduct, or do you think they just didn't prepare well before time?
I think they just didn't prepare well because I think they literally had all the time. For the fact, I was just surprised by one of the aspirants, Ignatius Kangave Musazi, because he started his campaigns last semester, before actually the actual semester of the elections. So we were surprised, of course. So I think by the time the aspirant came out to start his campaigns, also the guild committee the election committee would have come out to start preparing earlier. It's still on the same issue. Still on Saturday when the elections happened, the ballots came in late. Leaving alone that, they were not enough, so they had to go back to the police and actually print more ballots because many students were ready to vote. Students were really ready to vote. Some even went and paid tuition that very morning. Imagine the spirit.
Yeah, actually, about that same election day, Saturday, the elections, according to the Electoral Commission earlier communicated, had to start at 8. But they started at 10. And, Team IK had something to say that Electoral Commission was taking sides. And that's why they're trying to do the election so that they can do something out of that situation. Do you think it's true or it's just their propaganda?
Okay, I think according to what has been happening with Nkumba the Nkumba politics, if we are to dig deep down, down from behind, most people have been saying that hashtag, they just call it hashtag NRM, has been stealing votes. It's been happening. So, they even know the tactics those people use. They switch off the main lights so that they throw the votes inside the ballot box. They literally have everything. I don't know how these people get all that information, but I can say maybe it was true or not.
Yeah, actually, that very day we saw electricity was switched on at around 8:30 when they were still counting the votes, and we saw Ignatius Kangave Musazi, now the guild president-elect, climbing up, being lifted by his fans to see what is inside. And, they put on their flashlights, their torches on the phones,
They were very ready, They were, it seemed like they knew that this was going to happen. So I was also surprised because I'm like, these people.
And on that same issue, Ignatius Kangave Musazi, now the guild president-elect, he was declared as the new president of Nkumba University, replacing Toka Victor Given. And in this race, remember, he was defeated by Rinda Wilberforce for the NRM ticket. And coming into this race, he came as an independent candidate after. But many talking points about him. He is the grandson of the late Ignatius Kangave Musazi, the one who formed the first political party in Uganda. And I saw a lot of engagement on Twitter yesterday, and how people were like, this guy is stepping into the legacy of his grandfather, and how he want, first of all, talk about why do you think he was victorious? What special thing did he do to become a good president now?
So I think he did a lot. We can't say because we actually didn't know what he did. Okay, physically, he did a lot. First of all, I think because he started his campaigns earlier, last semester. He started his campaigns very, very earlier. And actually, most people are saying that, he has started very early, he's going to lose and what. So now comes this semester, he reached out to students. We've been seeing him moving around campus, reaching out to different students personally. He has been engaging with students. He has done a lot even before he was put to place as a guild president. We saw he bought football kits, training kits. He bought for the South Sudanese Association jerseys. Imagine both teams, girls and boys. They actually did a lot, of which we can't mention, of course, everything. But I think those are one of the tactics.
Actually, I think he was, among all the candidates, he was the most known, and it was no surprise to many that he was the one that won the race. Because if you look into, actually, I was having a conversation with one fresher at that very day, and I was asking who have you voted? And for her, she only knew literally one candidate. I was like, Ike. Because I think, in my opinion, that he took time to prepare, because he started his campaign last semester when all the rest of the candidates had not yet started, and we saw him printing out posters, stickers even last semester, starting his WhatsApp group where there was a lot of engagement, and also physical meetings that took place last semester. Now, the rest of these candidates had not yet started pitching camps. And I think by the time they started, this guy was ready to face them. And also another thing I noted that through these campaigns, he involved Team TNS. TNS is a group that brings together all South Sudanese students. And political analysts around Nkumba believe that it's one group of people that has a lot of students that when you capture them, you can win this race. And we saw that during last elections where Toka Victor Given, because he was from that area.
He came 1 week only, 1 week to elections. That's when Toka Given started putting out posters.
And because he had that support, we saw him winning the race. So This race, leaving alone him, Ignatius Kangave Musas being the guild president, what do you talk about him having the same name with the late Ignatius Kangave Musazi and literally coming to the same field of politics? Do you think he's going to that line of going more and, starting to build a legacy on himself or build another legacy from his grandfather?
We can't tell because he didn't clarify anything about that. He didn't say he came out to bring back his grandfather's legacy or what, but all I can say is that I think he's doing a great job coming out with, promoting the name because Ignatius, the late Ignatius Kangave Musazi, he is really a good man in history. Yes, he created the first political party, and for that we believe that his grandson will still walk in his footsteps as a leader, and actually students expect a lot from him. I think that's why they even voted for him, because everyone is like, he's such a good leader, he will be a good leader, and never know.
But we've had this thing about these leaders, and every leader that comes our way is like, I'm the one, I have the ideology, I'm going to deliver. But what happens? Do you think they're just liars, or when they come to power, something happen out of the blue and they are blinded by something?
So most talking to most students, actually, most students believe that, these some leaders come into politics for their own benefit. So remember, of course, guild presidents are paid and what. So literally students know, this one wants money. Now this one wants money. And now that was the issue. Because they saw now the independent candidate actually invested a lot, even more than the people who had parties, imagine. And remember, we know that parties obviously support their candidates, the aspirants. But then people asking, were they really having the parties? Were they under the parties? Or it was, because we know that they are given money for campaigns, everything. What did they do? They actually did nothing. That's what students say. They are the community, and they make the community. And it's actually supposed to reach out to them.
Recently I was having a conversation with one of my colleagues in the journalism class, and he was talking about how the government of Toka Victor given and how much for him he believes he has not delivered. And we believe that Musazi will deliver. And we hope as students that Musazi will deliver for us. Because students trusted him and put him in power as he won the rest. And we believe that he's the guy that was chosen and is going to deliver to the students. Well, we want to thank you for being with us on this show. It has been a nice moment for you, our dear viewer, to be with us at this moment. We've been discussing about Ignatius Kangave Musazi and the whole electoral process. Remember that he won 4 candidates in Rinda Wilberforce, Musazi Nicholas of NUP, and Kevin Frida of Independent. And he's the new guild president of Nkumba University. I think 2 weeks from now, he'll be sworn in and officially start to run his office. My name is Eliot, and I've been with Nanta Rebecca on this show. See you next time.